So is it possible to see Dhamma, to realize the Dhamma, by simply understanding it? The answer is no, because the mind needs to be developed in order to see Dhamma. There is the whole path involved that begins with right view, right intention, right action, right speech, right livelihood, right effort, right meditation, right concentration. All this is necessary in order to see Dhamma. In particular, we need to practice right meditation, we need to practice right mindfulness. And in order to practice right meditation, morality is of fundamental importance. And people often kind of skip over morality or talk about it briefly, but kind of skip over it and want to go straight to meditation. But this is basically useless. It's very important to understand this if we want to practice, that morality is the foundation, it's the base of everything that we do. It's as if we want to build a wall. We cannot build a wall on mud or on a pile of leaves. We have to build it on something solid. So morality is like the foundation, the solid base on which we build. And it underlies everything. It underlies right meditation. It is within right meditation. What is morality? It starts with the 5 precepts, having a kind of basic morality in one's physical actions. So not killing, not removing life intentionally from any living being, not stealing, not lying, not committing sexual misconduct, so any sexual acts that are harmful to others or oneself, and importantly, also, not taking alcohol or drugs. So not deliberately putting the mind into a state of carelessness, not deliberately harming others or oneself. But just following these 5 rules is not morality in and of itself. These 5 rules are a starting point, they're the base. They're like the bare minimum that we need in order to be able to work further, to go higher. They're what you need just to be a good human being. True morality, in the teaching of the Buddha, is practiced not only in physical actions, but in one's speech and in one's thoughts as well. And actually, if we want to do it rightly, we have to start with our thoughts, start with our mind, because everything that we do starts with our thought, with our intention. There is no action without the intention that's made in the mind first. So if we correct it there, then we correct everywhere. So when we work to be truly moral, we work to have no wrong thoughts and to only have right thoughts. And thereby then to have only right speech and no wrong speech, only have good and right actions, right intentions. What are wrong intentions? Any intention that is rooted in, that's driven by moha, dosa, lopa. Lopa is all that is greedy, liking, like self-interest, wanting this for myself, wanting my pleasure, attachment to my comfort, or wanting more of something. Dosa is the category of all that's basically opposite of lopa, is reacting with aversion, dislike, anger, irritation, impatience. So pushing away from things that are disliked or that are hated, that are felt as uncomfortable, unpleasant. And moha is sort of underlying these two. It is not knowing, unawareness. So being distracted, being unaware, not thinking, kind of being lazy, being careless are all things that are born of moha. When your thoughts are just wandering on without considering, without knowing, not knowing whether it's useful or not even kind of realizing that you're thinking, this is moha. Thinking without realizing you're thinking. Acting without realizing you're acting. So these 3 things are the base for all wrong intentions. And on the other hand, all right intentions must be rooted in not having moha, dosa, lopa. So removing these 3. And so one who really practices to be moral is practicing to never act out of moha, dosa, lopa, will not tolerate acting out of moha, dosa, lopa, and will also practice to not think with moha, dosa, lopa. So if we're practicing to this level, really practicing seriously at each minute to try to not think out of moha dosa lopa, then we have all the necessary basis for right meditation. In fact, we're already almost there with right meditation. And right meditation then is just a little step higher. It's not that far. It is what permits us to choose in each moment to not act out of moha dosa lopa, to see inside our mind, is this intention that I have now driven by moha dosa lopa? And if it is, to stop it. If we don't have meditation, if we don't have mindfulness, in other words, if we don't know our mind, we don't watch our mind, then there's no way that we can do this. There's no way that we can choose right over wrong in our thoughts, in our words, and in our actions, because we do them automatically. They are born automatically. So whatever basis of mindfulness we use is solely for the purpose of removing moha dosa lopa from ourselves. And if we forget this, then we're not meditating. So for example, one of the main foundations or basis of sati, mindfulness, is observation of the intentions for body movements. So for example, right now I'm sitting on a chair, and when I want to get up from the chair, I want to do so knowingly, to know before I get up that I'm going to get up. And if I then walk somewhere, again, I should do so knowingly, just with awareness of the intention for each step. And when we pay attention in this way, when we practice awareness in this way, it's not just for the sake of it, to be able to say, yes, I know this and I am aware of that. We are aware of our intention in order to have an intention that is not guided by moha dosa lopa. So when I'm walking, I will not have the greediness or the rush to get where I want to go, because I'm able to observe my intention of the action in order to do it without greed. So that's with intentions, but in the same way we can watch our mind, we can watch how emotions are born, or we can take a specific dhamma like a question to keep in mind, or as I spoke of in just the previous video, mindfulness of death, living each breath, each step, each moment within the context or within the awareness of the fact that I don't know, it's not guaranteed whether I will have another breath after this one. I'm happy to have this breath in order to practice the Buddha's teaching, in order, again, to be able to breathe without moha dosa lopa, to be able to take this step without moha dosa lopa. And so that's why this practice of meditation is something that you can carry everywhere you go, in every activity that you do. Every possible action that you can do, it's possible to do it either with moha dosa lopa, with greed, with aversion, with laziness, carelessness, or just not knowing, or it's possible to do it without moha dosa lopa. Everything you do, with the exception of actions that break the 5 precepts. These are actions that it is not possible to commit without moha dosa lopa, and that is exactly why they are defined as these 5 actions that should never, under any circumstances, be tolerated. Therefore, everything you do can be just a job, just a chore, just a distraction, just a wasted moment, or it can be meditation, can be mindful, it can be joyful. Because when you remove moha dosa lopa, well, then it's impossible to be heavy, or to be sad, or to be anxious. What is left when there is no greed, no aversion, no not knowing, no laziness, no carelessness? What's left is only joy, calm, peace. But at the same time, be careful, we don't practice for the sake of this calm, joy, and peace. Because if we do, then already we're practicing with lopa, greediness for a good feeling. So there's sort of a side effect that comes, but if we practice for the sake of the side effect, we don't get the benefit. So what is to be remembered from this teaching is that no insight in Dhamma can be had without right meditation. There can be no right meditation without morality. Morality is the foundation, the base of everything that we do in the practice. And It underlies all our meditation. Everything we do in meditation is done with morality guiding it, driving it. So whatever kind of meditation we do must be done in order to remove moha dosa lopa. If the meditation that we practice does not allow us to do this, if it does not permit us directly to remove moha dosa lopa, then it's not right meditation. And if we meditate, if we think we're meditating, but we don't remove moha dosa lopa, we are not meditating at all.